Hey, what is up guys? David Zhao here, and today we're going to be looking at a light that Viltrox sent over for me to review. Full disclosure, I was not paid for this review and Viltrox did not get to review this video before I posted it. Now, many of you may not have heard of Viltrox, and if you have, you might know them for camera accessories or even their lenses, like the $400 85mm f1.8 autofocus lens for the Sony E mount. What you probably don't know them for is their lights. That's because they just started getting into the lighting game. And so far they've released a pocket RGB light and the 150 watt bicolor cob light with an unfortunately long name, the Viltrox Weeylite Ninja 400. As usual, if you're interested in the products I review or the equipment I use to make these videos, links will be in the description down below. Let's start with the build quality. The housing unit for the light is made of metal with a vented design for thermal control and comes with a reflector cone to focus the light output for an unsurprisingly bright light. This unit draws 150 watts and outputs 12,750 lumens at a CRI rating of 95+. In layman's term, this light can put out a lot of light with pretty decent color accuracy. And notably to me, the light comes with a standard Bowens mount, which means you can use your pre-existing Bowens mount light modifiers, like the Lightdome Mini. The control box comes with a V-mount compatible battery slot, meaning you could run this light without a wall adapter if you so choose. And in the box it also comes with a wireless remote to control your light from afar. So what were my first impressions? Well, I was really happy, and then I was a little disappointed, but then I was pretty content. Let me elaborate. I wanted to make a good review for you guys, so I made sure to do plenty of tests before I made this video. And that was comprised of recording a bunch of side-by-side clips of the Ninja 400 compared to my Aputure 120d. So to start, I was really happy at first when I realized how bright of a light this Ninja 400 was. And I was excited on the premise that I was looking at an Aputure competitor for 60% of the price, at only $400 as opposed to Aputure's price tag of $750. But that's when I started to get disappointed. See, the Aputure 120d has a native color temperature of 3000 Kelvin, so of course I set my A6600 to a custom white balance of 3000 Kelvin. And after I shot my control test with the 120t, I switched over to the Ninja 400. See, the neat thing about this light is that it's bicolor. Specifically, it has a color temperature range of 2500 to 8500 Kelvin, which is a pretty substantial range. So I set it to 3000 Kelvin to match my 120t, and well, this is what I was disappointed to see. The color accuracy was to say the best. It looked very much like cheap LED lighting. But that's when I noticed the bicolor nature of this light. When set to the extremes, such as 2500 Kelvin on the warm side and 8500 Kelvin on the cool side, you can tell that the other set of LEDs completely shut off, leaving you with either just the warm LEDs at 2500 Kelvin or just the cool LEDs at 8500 Kelvin. When I did that and shot the clips with the camera set to the respective custom white balance, the color accuracy was significantly better. As a matter of fact, out of these three clips, the 120t, the Ninja 400 at 2500K and 8500K, my favorite clip out of the camera is honestly the 8500 Kelvin Ninja 400 clip. So let's talk about the pros of getting this light. Well, obviously it's a cheaper option. That's the biggest takeaway. Coming in at $400 retail, you are saving at least $350 if you pick up this instead of the Aputure 120d. On top of that, it's got great color accuracy when you're using it as either a tungsten 2500 Kelvin light or a daylight 8500 Kelvin light, with a notably brighter output at the daylight 8500 Kelvin end. And of course, because it is bicolor, it gives you versatility and flexibility, letting you adapt your light's color temperature based on what you're trying to shoot, as opposed to being stuck with only one color temperature like my Aputure 120t. Since color temperature is relative based on what you have set in the camera, by having a bicolor light, I can have my hair lights, which are daylight balanced, appear to either be a clean white or a colored blue. But of course, this light is not without its cons. I left both the Ninja 400 as well as the Aputure 120d on for half an hour at full power, and I'll say that it's noticeably louder than my Aputure 120t. Now, as you can tell from the audio currently, the fans aren't loud enough to be picked up if you have a boom mic pointed directionally away, towards your subject, or if you're using a lavalier mic. But if you are using something like this H4n Zoom to get room tone, then you might pick it up. Additionally, even though it's bi-color, you're not going to be using the 2600 to 8400 Kelvin range all that much, considering it's kind of muddy in terms of color accuracy, and it's just not as good as you'd want it to be. Finally, one last con I noted is the dimmer percentage. While it does dim on, the controller, it says between 1% and 100%, there's a significant jump up from off to 1%, which means there's a certain brightness that this light has to be at a minimum. Kind of a bummer. So then, what's my conclusion? I still have to say I like what Viltrox has to offer with this light. I've bought a lot of lights in my filmmaking career, from starting off with a cheap Savage LED light kit from Amazon, to getting an LED panel light, to a kit of Aputure Mini 20Ss, and to the Aputure 120t. After spending a few $1,000s, here's what I've learned. Color accuracy is important when picking a light, but it just needs to be good enough. It doesn't need to be perfect. Brightness output is another big note. But again, it's just gotta be bright enough to light your typical subject. And in my case, that would be myself from like 5 feet away. But finally, what I've learned the most is the most important part about your lighting is you need good modifiers like a Lightdome, and good support accessories like light stands. So here's my thoughts. I think I can comfortably recommend the Ninja 400. This entire monologue for this video has been shot and lit with the Ninja 400, and I'm assuming you probably didn't notice the difference between this video and how my videos normally look in previous ones. If you were to get this light instead of like an Aputure 120d, you'd be saving yourself at least $350, which could be put towards picking up a nice Lightdome Mini and still have money left over to pick up a nice C-stand, or even better, a C-stand on wheels. All right, those were my thoughts on the Ninja 400. If you're interested in checking out this light or any of the gear I talked about, links again are in the description down below. I did, however, reach out to Viltrox and ask if I could get you guys some kind of discount, so the link below to the Ninja 400 specifically will have a discount code automatically applied, I think. But either way, what I was looking for was trying to get this budget cheaper light to be even cheaper for you guys. So if you guys are interested, give it a look. And thanks for tuning in, guys. If you enjoyed the video and want to see more, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and get notified when new videos drop. Let me know in the comment section down below, what light are you rocking right now? Whether you're rolling with a cheap light off of Amazon or a 300D, drop it in the comments, I wanna know. And, as always, I will see you in the next video. Peace out.